it's time, baby. It's time. 8 days from now, we're going to have brackets. We're going to have March 17th. March Madness is here. Mike Randle with you, Chief Content Officer at FTN. We have incredible stuff ready to go. And I am starting today with a giveaway, a March Madness giveaway, which I will say now for the early birds, because you are my people, you were dedicated, and I will say it again at the end. We are doing a March Madness, a free bets package giveaway. All you have to do is like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and comment at the end of the video. When the video is over, you comment at the end what team you think is going to cut down the nets and be the national champion. It is a free bets giveaway. That's all you have to do. You get access. Our MLB team is incredible at bets. We were up 200 units combined last year. NFL, all that great stuff coming aboard. You don't want to miss out. So make sure you get back into that giveaway, folks. Again, at the end of the show, we will get into this. I remind you as well, we have been absolutely rolling. And if you want to join us, please make sure to do so. Don't forget the promo code. FTN Hoops is 35% off. You will not be disappointed with our content here. The Discord is hopping. We have a new website coming out. We have so many things that are great. 35% off FTN Hoops. This ends on Monday. You don't want to miss out. Make sure you get there as well. The comments are flying already. I cannot wait. Ready for a big Saturday, Mike. Been loving it, Kyle. Appreciate it. Give me some tips on how to approach the week. Kyle, we'll come back to that at the end. Remind me, please. We want to get in the picks, but I have some ideas for you as well. Dan, yeah, we had great games last night. We had a big night last night. 11-3, killing it. Neutral court unders. Now, the books have adjusted, but we have been scalding hot. Just absolutely tremendous. We got stuff. You know, you got to hear it. Yep, UNC 5.5. I'll get to that, Dan. You know it. And Joey in the house, folks. I raised a cup of coffee, a cup of Dunkin' coffee to Joey with that incredible Hatters win and the Stetson Hatters trying to make the tournament for the first time in their history. I think Joey said he's going to be there, so I cannot wait to roll. Let's get going here, folks. Here we go. You know why you're here. Let's get through it. High Point had their chance to mess up yesterday, and they totally took that game back from Radford. Radford came out, hit them in the mouth, as we see time and time again. A team that has played before gets a little frisky and starts off, but High Point is ready to roll. I think they're the best team in the conference. Their games are at home. I think they're going to win. I think they're going to take care of Longwood today. Longwood, solid team, has competed well. I think they've beaten Nashville and they've beaten High Point. Not happening today. I am taking High Point -6.5. The crowd was into it. The kids were into it. High Point with Bodo inside. What do you have? 20 rebounds yesterday. This team is a problem. It is a matchup problem for one of these big major teams. We're taking High Point as well. St. John's, Patino knows he has to hang a number. You saw what he did against DePaul. He is not taking his foot off the gas. He does not care. He doesn't care what Georgetown thinks. Georgetown is falling apart. Ed Cooley, first year, has not gone well. We don't care much money you make, Ed. It's about the W's, and you're not getting a lot of them. St. John's wins this game comfortably. It's 19.5. I think they win by 25. I know it's a large spread. We don't like to lay that. But Patino is telling his kids in the locker room, we are on the bubble. Not only do we have to win, we have to win big. It's what he did against DePaul. I think he does here home today against Georgetown. The games in D.C., I love Monmouth, love my Xavier Rice, but they have not played well against teams that are mediocre. They play up and down to the competition. This game is now on a neutral court. I will take Campbell +5.5 here against Monmouth. It's very Xavier Rice dominated. That's my issue with Monmouth. I like them. I like them in a big game. They're very well coached by King Rice, but on a neutral court, I'd be careful. And listen, you have to get in our Discord because the neutral court unders have been hitting at an incredible rate. I mean, they must be like 80% so far. I had people like SC557 last night hit a big parlay. People are hitting parlays left and right on them, but the books are going to adjust. In fact, Frank Brank and I, with Frank's models, were talking this morning. He's like, what is going on with the over-unders? And that's what it is. Our model's like a ton of overs today because unders were crushing, but the books are going to adjust. Just a word of caution there. Dan, I got this at 4.5. Put it in the Discord last night for our subs as soon as it came out. I am on Duke. I don't mind the 5.5 when the team that is favored is home. When you're on the road and the team that is on the road is favored by 5.5, that's the one I get nervous on. I think Duke gets payback here. They shot horrifically from three-point range in this first matchup, and they're shooting number one in the ACC, like 39% from three-point range. So I think Duke gets the payback. There's a lot of tiebreakers that have to happen here in order for Duke to get the 1 seed. I think the most likely scenario is Duke gets the 1 seed in the ACC. if they win the game and the tiebreakers go the way we think they're going to go. I'm taking Duke -4.5. I think they get their payback. They're healthy. They're playing well. And guys, they've lost 3 games since like December 9th, Duke. Been absolutely incredible. I am taking them there. I like Buzz Williams. Old Miss call it law efforts. Gus Kearns, who came on the pod. Hopefully we get him on again. Talked about this all the time. Law of efforts. Old Miss, Chris Beard's done a fantastic job with this Old Miss team. Came in, no expectations. And they've been very competitive. But the problem is they're starting to slow down at the end of the year because their offense is just not good. They have lost 3, 6, 7 of their last 9. The only game they won was away at Missouri, and that game was close. They beat Missouri twice, actually. So the only games they've won since January have been Missouri twice. They're losing at home. They lost to Auburn at home, South Carolina at home, Alabama at home. They're not where they used to be. They're not where they were earlier in the season when they were 13-0. Hats off to Chris Beard. They're not defending the 3 well. They're not shooting inside the arc. However, he has turned this program around. You know they're going to be really good next year. They're going to grow. He does a great job. But this, for against Texas A&M, a Buzz Williams team that, again, is on the bubble that needs this, that has beaten Georgia and Mississippi State back-to-back. They're number 1 in the country in offensive rebounding. They're great on rebounding. They don't turn the ball over inside the SEC. And all we need for this game is to get a little Wade Taylor action. We get Wade Taylor. I think we get it. I'm taking them as a slight underdog at home. I don't think Earl Timberlake is playing in this game. The game is at Bryant. It's the America East Tournament. I like this Maine team. They're very well coached. They slow it down. The problem with Maine is they're going to play great defense. The problem is their offense. But this game now, Maine is great at forcing turnovers. They're great at defending the 3. If you want a sleeper in the America East, I would go with Maine because Bryant is limited. Maine has won 4 of their last 5. They finally started to figure it out. They won Albany away. They beat UMBC. They beat UMass Lowell at home in their last game. Maine is starting to click here, and I don't like the way Bryant's going. Bryant had some great wins. The Florida Atlantic game was great. They played a super fast pace, but they also turned the ball over, and they're terrible at the free throw line. Slow game, tournament game, on the road. Maine, the better coach, 6.5, awful lot. I'll take the Black Bears there. Guys, I love Tennessee. You know that. Tennessee is my team to win the national championship. I think they have everything they need, and you saw Dalton Connect pointing to his ring. They got the SEC title. But my question is motivation in this game. This game opened at 9. I know it's down to 7.5, but I got it for the subs 9, which is why you've got to get here to FTN Bets and get in our Discord. This is a high number for a Kentucky team that has a revenge factor, for a Kentucky team that is playing very well lately, against a Tennessee team with 0 motivation. I wasn't even sure if Tennessee was going to play all their players today. So I get it. Barnes is great against Calipari, and I love Tennessee, and I think they're going to win the national title, but they've locked up the number 1 seed. They won the SEC regular season. Kentucky is desperate, and you're going to give me 9? I mean, maybe Tennessee wins by 4, but 9 is an awful lot. The number is dropping, and I'm not surprised. I'm taking that. I'm taking Kentucky there. Folks, there are lines that are wrong all over the place. If you have joined us on our journey here at FTN and you have gone through the entire season and watched the games and looked at the models and gotten Kutri's bets and Gross's bets, etc., you know when a line is off. Cleveland State was getting 9 points against Youngstown State. Why? Is Youngstown State that much better than Cleveland State? Get out of here. Last night in the WCC, Stan Johnson, our good fade friend, Stan Johnson, laying 7.5 points to a Portland team that just beat them by 10 2 nights ago, and now it's on a neutral court, and Loyola Marymount is desperate with 3-pointers. Odd lines. We can take advantage of them if you see them, of course. Slight wager here. I'm not a Memphis guy. You know that. But I have faded FAU, and I continue to do so. People are going to point to that last game. You're going to say to me, well, Mike, but what about the game they just beat North Texas? You like North Texas? They covered. Yeah, that's fine. But North Texas's best defender had the flu. He played, but he was very nullified. So North Texas barely lost the cover in that game. They lost by 4. I think they were getting 2.5. And their best defender, perimeter defender, was actually sick. I'm taking Memphis here. These two teams have not played yet this year. This is a big game for Memphis, who's trying to fight their way back on the bubble. They've won 7 of their last 9. They beat Charlotte. They beat Florida Atlantic. They beat East Carolina. They beat UAB. They're playing well. This is a payback spot for Florida Atlantic, but you're going to give me 7. It is too many points. They are playing better. I am not a Memphis guy, but they do force a lot of turnovers. You know, Florida Atlantic plays 0 defense, and you know that Memphis is number 1 in the AAC at 2-point interior scoring. They play at a fast pace. I think it's too many points. Do I think Florida Atlantic wins? Probably. I just think it's too many points, and I think Memphis, now at 11-6, 22-8, is trying to play their way back on the bubble. And as long as you have David Jones, you have a shot. Small amount here. I think Arkansas stinks. I know it's a rivalry game and it's 14.5. And my good friend Lou tells me I'm not good when I'm laying big points. I get that. Small amount, half unit. Alabama minus 14.5 against Arkansas. This is a strict need game. Alabama needs this game for seedings. They lost 2 straight games to Tennessee and Florida. They're on a little bit of a slide here. I think they get back at it. Their offense is superior. They shoot super well at home. Arkansas has not seen them yet this year. So usually when 2 teams play, I tend to favor the better team. I'm going here with Alabama minus 14.5, just a little bit as well. It's a lot. I know Yale needs the game. It's just a lot. I know Brown has clinched it. This is a half unit play. If you look at the Ivy standings, Princeton and Yale are tied at 11-2. And I think the tiebreakers, I think Princeton gets the tiebreaker here, but Princeton's playing Penn. Brown is solidly in. They got the 4th seed. They played Yale early this year and they lost by 10 at home. It just feels like a lot of points. That's all. Yale has the big man inside who drives me crazy, Danny Wolf. They're great at defensive rebounding. They don't turn the ball over. It just feels like a lot of points. Smaller unit play here in a game that doesn't matter really for Brown, but it's a lot of points, 11.5. And I think Yale loses the tiebreaker to Princeton. If you know that answer, please put it in the chat. St. Bonaventure, really curious team. Went up to UMass. Shout out to my brother-in-law, Joe, with those tickets. And I saw St. Bonaventure. That is a terrible matchup for UMass. But for everyone else, they seem to handle St. Bonaventure okay. St. Bonaventure needs wins. They want to get themselves some momentum. They have the big man venting inside. They do shoot well from 3 at home. St. Louis is dead man walking. Travis Ford has somehow turned this team into a run and gun team. I don't think you can run and gun at St. Bonaventure. I think they get away and hide again. Laying big numbers is not my thing during conference tournament season. Let's lower that to a half unit play. I'll take the Bonnies at home minus 12.5. And how about last night, Dayton coming back? You see that Dayton game against VCU last night? They're tied, I think it is, with like 25 seconds left in overtime. They got a 4-on-1 break. Anthony Grant must have passed out. They kick out for 3. I'm watching my wife, and they bang a 3 on a 4-on-1 break. God, if they missed that shot. But because they won, UMass gets the double bye. I think they're live because I think as long as they avoid St. Bonaventure, I think UMass can do a good job here in the A10 tournament. Games in Pensacola. Love App State. You know that. And I picked them as well to win the Sun Belt. They have the second best odds behind James Madison. However, they're playing a Georgia Southern team that actually took them to overtime at home. This is a Georgia Southern team that only lost by 10. They play them well. They don't turn the ball over. And Georgia Southern coming off a nice win over South Alabama on the neutral court. So you have one of my favorite scenarios here. Conference tournament goes back to our question from Kyle to start the stream. You have a team that has played already against a team that they're familiar with, that they play well with. I'll take Georgia Southern plus 13.5, and I'll give you another one. I like Georgia Southern on the first half in this game against App State. Those teams that end up winning that game the day or two before at the neutral site, and they're totally accustomed to it, usually do well in the first half. You saw it Queens when they ended up playing their game. Teams cover and play well in those situations. So I'll take Georgia Southern, who's played well against them regardless, and now has a game advantage. Quinnipiac here can win the MAAC if they pull this game out. I know it's on the road, but I just feel Quinnipiac is going to get it. They are 14-5. They're a game ahead of Fairfield. Quinnipiac steals. They play at a fast pace. They also make their free throws, and they don't turn the ball over. They're playing a St. Peter's team they beat by 11 at home. This is not going to be easy. St. Peter's is 12-7. St. Peter's under Basher Mason has done a great job. They're 2 games behind. They're the 3 seed here, but Quinnipiac needs this game to win. There's a lot of motivation for Quinnipiac for the MAAC regular season title. St. Peter's is going to try to beat you up with defense. So if you want to look at an under, that's fine. They are the worst team in the MAAC in interior scoring, 2-point scoring. They try to generate points from beyond the arc, but they don't shoot it particularly well. This is a physical game. I think Quinnipiac gets it, and they're a 2.5-point dog. A lot of motivation. Not the same St. Peter's team that we're used to a year ago or 2 years ago. Plus, they're terrible in offense. I'm taking Quinnipiac plus 2.5 on the road. Guys, I would feel unfaithful to you if I did not bet against Keith Ergo, who's been a fantastic fade machine for us here in Fordham at the A10. How about good old Keith? VCU didn't cover home. St. Bonnie's home didn't cover. Dayton away. I think they squeaked out a cover, but then they gagged it away at Davidson, lost by 15. St. Joe's away, they didn't cover. UMass away, they kept it close but lost. Here now, they're home against Rhode Island. Rhode Island team with Archie Miller that's good on the boards, that's physical, that's playing tough here down the stretch. St. Louis home, they only lost by 3, but they're scoring well. They shoot the 3 well. This is a half-unit play. Maybe Fordham gets back to it, but we have found with Mike White, we have found with Stan Johnson, we have found with the coaches that I've told you to fade that they're starting to come back to me. The only one who's hurt us is Loyola Chicago, but we'll see you in the A10 tournament there, Drew Valentine. Don't worry about that. Liberty's not the same team. I like Western Kentucky getting 5 even at Liberty. If you told me that Liberty was going to get things right, they would have got things right a couple games ago. They're not making free throws. They're not great on the offensive boards. Their shooting from 3 is okay. It's not great, 35%. And Liberty has benefited because teams don't make free throws against them. 68.2%. That's number 1 in Conference USA. They lost at home to UTEP. They lost away to Middle Tennessee State. They are not playing well. They've lost 4 of their last 5. They have to bang the threes. Not happening. Western Kentucky beat them home by 2. Western Kentucky plays at a super fast pace. They also shoot the 3 well. They're also good inside the arc, and they're also good at making their free throws. I think it's too many points. Liberty, I used to think they were going to pound inferior teams, and usually they do. Western Kentucky's 19-10. They're not an inferior team. I think this game is close. Davidson stinks. I'll take St. Joe's at home. They've burned us a couple times, but Davidson's offense is just not where it needs to be. They got lucky there against UMass with a nice comeback at the end, but they have lost 4 straight games. They're only shooting 31% from three-point range. Davidson is winning games with defense. Not buying it here. Matt McKillop struggling, lost their identity. St. Joe's at home has gone back and forth a little bit, but they're usually good at home shooting threes, and they're good at defending inside the arc. Davidson's got to score with those back doors inside the arc. St. Joe's is really good at defending inside the arc. I'll take St. Joe's minus 4.5. Columbia stinks, and I give a shout out to Columbia because they've been better. Dr. Tony, big fan of the show, definitely have been better and are laying a foundation to make a run next year in the Ivy League, but they've kind of petered out here at the end. Cornell wants this game. They're superior. They shoot the 3. Their offense is great. Columbia has struggled. Their defense is non-existent, even at home. It's 6. It's a lot. I get it. I'm laying it with Cornell. West Virginia, same thing. Law of efforts has kind of fallen apart here. I still like Cincinnati, even though Cincinnati struggled. They lost away at Oklahoma. But when they're home, they usually play well. They beat Kansas State at home. They battle Iowa State. They battle Houston. This is a team that's great on the boards, that defends inside the arc. Here comes West Virginia, who can be very shaky with the ball. They don't force turnovers. They give up a ton of turnovers. They play at a fast pace. They don't make free throws under 70%. And again, Josh Eilert in an impossible situation, and they were competitive for most of the year. However, folks, if you look at West Virginia, they have lost 8 of their last 9. They haven't covered 6 of those games. The only game they won at home was UCF and our guy, Johnny Dawkins. I will take them here. You're going to make me take Northeastern and 1.5 on a neutral court. I think I'd rather have a root canal without Novocaine. I'm taking Stony Brook minus 1.5. Northeastern on a neutral. Get out of here. Sometimes at home they can force shots and make you turn you over. They beat Elon at home. They beat Hampton at home. But away, they've been terrible. And on a neutral court, get out of here. Stony Brook beat them once already. Beat them twice this year. Beat them at home. Beat them on the road. Stony Brook's offense is clicking. They're playing well. Northeastern's defense, they turn you over. They're number 2 in the CA at defensive turnovers, but they're also last in offensive turnovers. They can't defend the 3. Neutral court side, I like the under here as well in this game because I don't think Northeastern can score, but Stony Brook has been playing well. Won 3 of the last 4. They make their free throws. They're good. They don't turn the ball over as well. Neutral court, Stony Brook. I think they're winning this game under Geno Ford. I think they're a better team. I don't think Northeastern can score, so look at the under as well. Iowa State is really good. I went on VSiN yesterday. If you ask me for my top teams right now to go to the Final Four, Iowa State's going to be one of them. I like TJ Alsenberger. And can we get out of here with this octagon of doom garbage with Kansas State. Folks, octagon of doom. Let's just take a look at it here, please. I put these notes in here for you guys today. This is crazy. Octagon of losses. They lost to Oklahoma. They lost to TCU at home. They blew a 25-point lead to West Virginia, had to win that game in overtime. Iowa State locks down Tyler Perry, only at 7 points in the first meeting. They are 349th in offensive turnover rate. Kansas State just gives it to you. Like turnovers in a bakery after church on Sunday. Iowa State is number 2 in defensive turnover rate, so you have one of the best teams at forcing turnovers against one of the worst teams in terms of providing offensive turnovers. Get out of here as well. Too many points at Central Connecticut. I'll take a Wagner team that's been feisty. I like Central Connecticut, and I love their guards. They got the big win at Fordham, but Wagner went on the road and won at Sacred Heart. Wagner is good on the boards. They're great at defending the three, so they're going to get out on those guards. Too many points. No thank you there. We got comments flying, guys. I apologize. This is the most watched show we've ever had. Let me get to the comments. Make sure everybody gets it. Answer. Yeah, we'll get to this one. I like Western Carolina, Poe. That's where I'm going with this. Josh in the house, as always, appreciate it. Manu, thank you. We are here. It's therapy. We talk. We go through games. We argue, but we love each other. College basketball. That's why we're here. Is it a Temple game? That's very funny. We were on that one at 2.5. When I went up to 7.5, I think it's the best closing line value I ever had. That's a little bit of a shaky game there. Aaron, Houston. Yeah, Aaron, it's Houston. It's Houston today. We'll get to that one at the end. Ready to roll. Eric, I appreciate you. Joey is going to be there. Joey, we want a picture for the college basketball betting show. I want to be tagged. I want a picture, and I am rooting for you, my friend. I really am. High Point Jerry is dangerous. You're damn right they are. Jocelyn Bodo inside, 7'1", center, rebound, block shots. And the problem, Jerry, you know this, is these mid-major teams, they can't match up physically inside with the large teams. But High Point can, and they shoot the three well, and Duke Miles outside, they're a freaking problem. Yeah, I love that collapse, Dell. I absolutely love that collapse. I was on Boise, and I was on the over. Shout out to Frank Branks Models, 13.5% edge on that one as well. I do think Nevada is the team, Dell. We'll get into them. I do think Nevada is the team. Dayton with a great win. Kyle, UMass actually very happy as well. Jimmy, appreciate it, brother. PIMP, thank you very much. I like Iowa State, Kyle, as well. Kansas State turns it over too much, and enough of this ridiculousness. Listen, I like Jerome Tang. He's done a nice job, but he's like undefeated in overtime. That's like I always win when I have spaghetti. I mean, those are not – it's just one of those odd stats that like really doesn't mean much to me. I think Iowa State gets it done here in overtime. Jason's in the house. Arsenal parlay for Connor. I like that parlay, Connor. I'm in as well. Touting Iowa State. Yep, appreciate it. Most watched show. You're damn right, baby. We are going places. Yeah, this one was tough, par 4, because I do like Mount St. Mary's, and Fairfield could be a little sketchy. I stayed away from this one. My instinct was Fairfield. It was, but I don't know if I like that one as well. And just Justin in the house, brother. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it. We got to get you back on. Okay, here we go. Notre Dame plus 9.5 for Virginia Tech. I have some issue with Virginia Tech, so this could be a bias pick. Full disclosure, but Notre Dame keeps games close. Micah Shrewsbury has turned this Notre Dame program around. I mean, they were 4-7. They were 2-10 in the ACC. They beat Virginia Tech at home, so I know it's a payback spot. Be careful. Beat Georgia Tech at home. Beat Louisville away. Huge comeback against Syracuse on Jim Boeheim night. Got that game back and lost by 3 and covered. They beat Wake at home. They beat Clemson at home. They got blown out by North Carolina. Virginia Tech isn't going to run up and down the court. I know it's senior day. I know it's payback. You want to make it a half unit. I'm fine. I just think 9.5 is a lot for this backcourt here of Marcus Burton and Braden Shrewsbury, and a great coaching job by Micah Shrewsbury. Great coaching job. Can we stop disrespecting South Carolina? I may put South Carolina to the Final Four, guys. We're going to have a show. As soon as the brackets are released, we'll have a show on Sunday. I'll get everybody on here, get their opinion, so make sure you don't miss that. I could have South Carolina go in the Final Four. Why are they getting 5 points in Mississippi State? A Mississippi State team that can't make free throws, that turns the ball over, that you saw get back to Kentucky, no discipline. South Carolina is really good. They could win this game. We've seen it before. They've won at Texas Tech. I'll take South Carolina plus 5. Middle Tennessee State at home. Middle Tennessee State not at home. It's really that simple. I am going here with Louisiana Tech, who has been the class of this conference. This is the last game of the regular season. I don't know what the motivation is here for Middle Tennessee. If you look at Conference USA, Sam Houston State's at 12-3. So Louisiana Tech, if Sam Houston State somehow loses to Jacksonville State at home, and it's projected as a close game, they can still win this regular season title. They're going to play hard. They're angry. This is a great team at defending inside the arc, great on the offensive boards. I think they destroy Middle Tennessee State today, who just does not play well on the road. Away at Sam Houston State, lost by 17. Away at Jacksonville State, lost by 8. Away at Liberty, lost by 32. Away at Western Kentucky, lost by 22. Away at New Mexico, you get the picture. I don't need to keep going on. South Florida. South Florida has locked up the conference. I am well aware of that. But you know what South Florida hasn't locked up? They haven't locked up a trip to the NCAA tournament because they only have one quad one win, I believe. South Florida, 16-1, 23-5. They're the number 1 seed in the AAC. Congratulations. They cannot get tripped up. Amir Abdul-Rahim is a superior coach coming from Kennesaw State, is doing great work here. They're not gagging it at Tulsa. I know Tulsa's a tough place to play. I know this game is treading on the 5.5 that we don't like. South Florida wants to make this tournament. Winning this game and getting to 17-1 and 24-5, I believe, means that they don't have to win the AAC tournament to get in. I think they lock up at at-large if they win this game, provided they win one game in their tournament. I believe that. I think they get in. Can't lose this game today, and they know it. I'm taking them there. UNC Asheville, Drew Pember's a man. It's what men do. He took it the game over. He hit 2 threes late, got them over their scare. Now they're playing Gardner-Webb. This is still an Asheville team that has a lot of experience, that has a lot of minutes continuity. That was a rough game against Charleston Southern. I think they take a can of whoop ass out and go nuts on Gardner-Webb, who, by the way, beat them at home on Saturday, February 24th, and beat them away on Wednesday, January 31st. So you have to make a decision here. Does Gardner-Webb have Asheville's number, or is Asheville on the neutral court going to take care of business? I also like the under here, neutral court unders between Asheville and Gardner-Webb. It's only 2.5. If it was 4.5, 5.5, I'd probably go the other way. I'm taking Asheville. I think they get their revenge, and I think they are destined to play here in the Big South title against High Point, which they're going to lose. UMBC on the road is fine. I'm not a UMass Lowell fan. You know this. They've been up and down and Koulibaly, all this stuff. UMBC likes to push the pace. It's tough against UMass Lowell, but they want to push the pace also. UMBC has been great on the road, has actually been covering a lot of games on the road. If you look at them and you look at the games away from home, they have actually been very good, UMBC. It's one of these weird things that just makes no sense that we've noticed here. Let's see. Yeah, they're 11-5 on the road. Maryland, Baltimore County. Too many points. UMass Lowell, America East tournament game. I'll take those points. I really like Arkansas State. The winner of this game can absolutely beat App State. The winner of this game is an absolute problem. Arkansas State, Brian Hodgson is the coach, came from Alabama, Nate Oates coaching tree, like to shoot threes. We don't turn the ball over with our guards, and we defend well inside the arc, and we make free throws. Close game. Louisiana's coming off a win. They played already. Frisky. But the winner of this game, I am definitely taking the points in the winner of this game against App State in the next game. I think it's going to be Arkansas State, and I got a future on them. I'm taking them there. Northern Iowa's been hot. Indiana State's great. I don't think Northern Iowa's winning this game, so be careful. I hate taking underdogs that I don't think are going to win the game. Love Bowen Bourne. Love Jacobson. Love their defense. Indiana State's good. Northern Iowa's playing really well. They're hot right now. They've played well against Drake and well against Bradley and well against Indiana State. I'm going to take them plus the 7.5 points. I think it's too much. Shout out to New Mexico State, which was in an impossible situation and really has done a nice job. After last year, they were essentially, their season was ended early. Now they're at their season ender against FIU. They lost to FIU away. Jason Hooten has done a nice job. This team has lost 6 straight games, but FIU really isn't that good. They're terrible at defending the three. They're terrible on the boards. They don't make free throws. I think this is a big New Mexico State celebration day. New Mexico State comes out against a bad FIU team that's bad on defense and celebrates in Conference USA, going to 7-9, which is a huge accomplishment after last year's disaster. I don't think they're losing this game at all. Payback time for Kansas. Houston wins the Big 12 regular season title. Now, I know this game may not mean much if Iowa State loses at Kansas State, but of course, I don't think Iowa State is losing. If Iowa State loses earlier in the day, then Houston locks it up and may not need to play hard. I just don't think that's Kelvin Sampson's DNA. I think they want this game. I don't trust Johnny Furphy on the road. Kevin McCullough is back. I get that. but the physicality of Houston, they beat everyone at home by double digits. It doesn't matter who you are. The only way that you beat them is last year we saw Alabama go there and come back and beat them with a bevy of three-pointers, and they're great on the boards. I don't think they can match them on the boards, Kansas. I don't think Furphy's going to do anything. They have no depth. They can get them in foul trouble. They're physical. They're going to pack the Fertitta Center tonight for the big win in the Big 12. Houston coming over, winning the Big 12. This is a big game in Houston. I'm going to lay the points there as well. Rivalry game, I'll take Air Force. Air Force, you saw one at New Mexico State. They slow the game down, back screen, slow, back doors, really well coached. 10.5 is an awful lot against Colorado State. Air Force, again, has been very live in the Mountain West. They're losing to teams, but when they're home, they're usually pretty decent. They're playing a Colorado State team that they lost to Wayne overtime that they played well against. I know Colorado State needs this game, but on the road, they lost at UNLV. On the road, they lost at San Diego State. On the road, they lost at Wyoming. On the road, they lost to Nevada. On the road, they lost at Boise State. On the road, they lost to Utah State. Colorado State. Rivalry game, 10.5 is a lot. I'm taking them. East Carolina stinks. I'm going with Charlotte. Unless there's injuries and players are resting here, Charlotte in the American is in the 3 spot. They don't want to fall into a tie with SMU and Memphis. And if Florida Atlantic somehow loses, they can still get the 2. I think Charlotte plays well here. Charlotte against East Carolina played them earlier this year. They beat them by 15 at home. Now they're going on the road. They're coming off a win off of Rice. Again, Charlotte needs some momentum. East Carolina has been terrible down the stretch. Rice lost. Memphis home gave up 80. Away, North Texas gave up 84. SMU away lost that game. I'm taking Charlotte plus 1.5 there. Johnny Dawkins fading. TCU getting out. Needs the win. UCF going the wrong way. Transition up and down. They can score a ton of points quickly. I'll lay the 7.5 there. Wake Forest stinks. They shouldn't be in the tournament. They're off my big board. Clemson, I think, is a sleeper to make the Final Four. In fact, I went on VSiN and I said Clemson. I think I said Tennessee, Iowa State, UConn, and Clemson. Clemson has veterans. They're great inside. They can shoot the 3. Schifflin gets the rebounds. Wake Forest, not impressed. I know at home you're a juggernaut. Prove me wrong. I'll take the 3.5. Princeton needs the game against Penn. When a team needs a game to win the Ivy League, I'm going to take them. I think they own the tiebreakers here, so I think when they get the number 1 seed and at least a share of the regular season title, I'll take the Tigers, who've been significantly better. Chattanooga, I wasn't sure about this one because Wofford can be frisky, but I'll just take the under, the neutral court under here, the 144.5 with Chattanooga. You know the deal with Chattanooga. They shoot the 3. They get up and down. This game is being played in Asheville, North Carolina. I think Wofford is good defensively. They're going to push you around a little bit. Wofford can't make free throws, and they also struggle on offense. So this is a classic neutral court under. You know I like fading teams like Alabama and Creighton and Chattanooga that are overly reliant on the 3. I'm not thrilled with Wofford, so I just went with the under here. Bradley can't win on the road. Drake stuck it to me yesterday against Evansville. Almost got that backdoor cover. Drake is better than Bradley. Bradley's been too inconsistent. Indiana State pounded teams late. Bradley at home was squeaking out games. I don't think Bradley can beat Drake in this matchup. I like Drake minus 1.5 on the neutral court. Magic 5.5 with North Texas. Rice is home. North Texas, again, can struggle on offense. Don't know the health of the player against Florida Atlantic, the perimeter player who was sick. I'll take 5.5 here with Rice. Moorhead looked good, but that was a big battle against UT Martin. Little Rock is undervalued. Little Rock can be physical with Moorhead. I think this is a very close game. It's a coin flip to me. I know Moorhead is the class of the conference, but Tennessee Martin had them in trouble. They just gave up too many easy layups, which Little Rock is not going to do. I'll take Little Rock plus 2.5 here. Motivation spot for Utah State. I put this in the Discord last night, and it's gone up to 3.5, and I'm not surprised. Utah State got a gift. Boise did win and beat San Diego State. If Boise had lost to San Diego State, Utah State wraps up the outright regular season because Boise State gagged it against Nevada. However, Boise State pulled that out in overtime against San Diego State last night. So Utah State, to win the outright, needs to win this game. New Mexico can score, certainly, and they beat Utah State at home 99-86. So now I got Utah State at home to outright win the Mountain West against the New Mexico State team that can be a little shaky with their defense and hasn't been great on offense either. They lost at Boise. They lost at home to Air Force. They beat Colorado State at home only by 2. They're kind of not. They beat Nevada away by 1. They lost at home to UNLV. They lost at home to Boise. New Mexico is going the wrong direction. They're going the wrong direction. Their offense isn't good enough to carry them. They're away from home. Utah State has revenge, and Utah State has payback. And Great Osabor is going to have 20 and 10 today, a double-double. You can find that bet, do it. Go there as well. I like Western Carolina in this game, was asked about before, but I'm going with the under 147 between Western Carolina and Furman. Furman's offense has been a little shaky, a little bit overly reliant on the three. This game is being played, in Asheville, North Carolina. Physical game. These teams were high scoring. They played at Western Carolina. It was a high scoring game. They played the first time. It was a low scoring game. I am going under in this matchup, 147. The first game was at 127. The second game was at 162. I think the third matchup is very close. I think it's a slow down game. I think it's physical. Furman hasn't been great from 3-point range. They're just okay from inside the arc. Western Carolina has gotten better from deep, but they're really good on defense. Western Carolina, number one defense in the SoCon here inside the arc. I think it's a physical game. I am going with the under. Marshall stinks. I don't like James Madison. You know that. And Scott Cross covers. I'm taking probably in the next round, but I think they'll beat Marshall by more than 11.5. I don't like Marshall. You want to go Marshall on the first half line. I have no problem with that because they're coming off a game. James Madison, a little sleepy, a little cocky James Madison. That's fine. Minnesota, Bowie senior day. I think they got Langborn back as well. They should be healthy. Need this win. Minnesota struggling. Couldn't make shots last time. I'll take Northwestern at home, -4.5 over Minnesota. And I think, didn't Minnesota come back and beat them late? I think Northwestern had that game won. Yeah, and they went to overtime and they won. So a lot of motivation there. Minnesota, so good against the spread, 24-6, maybe giving a little bit back right now. Oak State stinks. I don't like them. BYU 3-point barrage tonight at home, last game of the regular season. I like San Diego plus 11.5 against Santa Clara. I think it's too many points. Neutral court game. We're going under 148.5. That hit last night with Portland. No problem against Stan Johnson and Loyola Marymount. We're going back to it there. Nevada is fantastic. Nevada is the team that can make a run in the Mountain West. Look at what Nevada has done here. Last few games. They're on a 6-game winning streak. They've won 9 of 10. They went to Boise and beat them by 10. They beat Fresno. They beat Colorado State away. They crushed San Jose State away. They beat UNLV away, which is not easy. Nevada is the team that can make a run in the tournament. Great at defending, especially the three-pointer. Great at shooting the three-pointer. Love this Nevada team. Steve Alford doing a great job. 25-6, 12-5 overall here in the Mountain West. Nevada here can tie for second place with Boise. Just a brilliant job. Love this team as well. And Aaron Gano, too many points at Hawaii. Love him here from Tenafly, New Jersey. But Cal State Bakersfield plus 7.5 against Hawaii. This is your late night game. Maybe we have a big day and we put a cherry on top at the end. Cal State Bakersfield, they played and they beat them away. This is a payback spot. This Hawaii team is good at defending the three and good at the defensive boards, but they don't force a lot of turnovers. So as long as Cal State Bakersfield plays within themselves and gets some second chance points on offensive rebounds and some easy buckets, because they're number 2 in the Big West of turnovers, they should be fine. We are going there. I will get to the comments as well. And I want to remind everyone, don't forget about the promo code 35% off. And as I mentioned before, I will come back to the comments, guys. Don't leave. As I mentioned before, we got our giveaway here. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment when it is over on your 2024 March Madness winner, and you will be eligible for a free bets package that we will announce on an upcoming show. Free bets package. You will be so happy to have it. Trust me, with all the great stuff that we have. Let's get to the comments here. Let's see. Leg show. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Bad start yesterday, Leg, but we got hot late. I apologize for that, but we got scalding hot late. I think it was 2 days ago. Bad start, but we were able to make it up late. Rob, you're late. It's okay, buddy. We're not sending you to the office here, the principal's office. 100% on South Carolina. Yep, Iowa State, great interior. I like South Carolina. I think too many points, Kyle. I think 5 points is too many points. You want to go with someone else, that's totally fine. I just think it's 5 points. You want to say Mississippi State wins, I'll take those points as well. Jim talked about it. I like Charlotte. I just trust Charlotte. I trust their defense. Don't like East Carolina. It's not a big spread, but I'm going with it as well. Uriel in the house. Appreciate you, brother. Jim, yeah, we're going places. Stetson Hatters. A lot of Stetson Hatter talk here on the show. Happy about that. Leg show. Yeah, 7-1 to the under. The only one over the overtime game. 2 more games today. Leg, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're going to continue to go with those unders. 7-1 has done a great thing for our bankroll here. The only one that went over was the overtime game. I get it, Kyle, and I get it. I just think them being home is huge. And you know me, I don't like the backdoor cover unless it's 12 or 14 points. So I'm taking Houston. Kansas covered a big number at home against Houston the first time. I think Houston pays them back. Kansas is great. You know, Bill Self's best coach of college basketball. You want to stay away from it. That's fine. I like Houston, but I get it. Let's see. A couple of bets that you mentioned that you absolutely love today, Josh. Let me go through them quickly. I do think High Point beats Longwood. I think they take care of business there. I think Duke take care of business against North Carolina. I really like Buzz Williams here, getting 1.5 against Ole Miss as well. I think they're the better team. I think Maine can win this game outright, getting 6.5. It's underdogs. What I would target for you are the games that point out that are underdogs getting points because they have a chance to win as well. And Kentucky's 9. I know it's going down. I just don't see the motivation for Tennessee. And if Tennessee burns me as my national champion, congratulations, Rick Barnes. You're better than I even thought you were. Any other games that I like a lot? Yeah, I mean, Northeastern. I told you about that one, please. And Iowa State as well. Those are some of the games that I like there. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm staying awake. There's better spots, Kyle, in this. You got Texas Tech at home, Baylor 1.5. They're playing well, but it's on the road. Yeah, I just think it's better spots. I'm staying away from it. Close game, good coach, Grant McCaslin, Texas Tech. They don't have Warren. Is Warren Washington still out, guys? If Warren Washington is out, I probably would go with Baylor. I'm not sure if he's back yet or not. If Warren Washington, the big man inside, is playing, it's a stay away from me, but I just think there's better spots. But without him, I don't mind leaning on Baylor as well. Best bets, I just told you, Pope. Appreciate you, brother. Baylor, Texas Tech, we talked about. Daryl in the house, appreciate it. Daryl, nothing on Tarleton. Not sure about that one. Nothing on that one, man. I'm sorry. Leg show, we'll see you later. You got it, brother. I kind of like USC in this game, Daryl. The over, I'm not sure about. It's just I think it's top of the market for Arizona, who doesn't need the game necessarily. I don't think. Do they need this matchup? I don't think they need it. They wrapped up. Yeah, they got a 1-game lead, and they wrapped it up. So it's 1.5. They win this game. They win the outright. Washington State. They got it. So they don't need this game. It's a lot of points. USC's been really hot lately. One of the sort of under the radar things. How about USC beat Utah, UCLA, Washington, Arizona State, lost in 2 overtimes at home to Colorado. They're playing pretty well. I think it's too many points. First time they played, they only lost by 15 away. Uriel, I just think it's too many points. I'll take Kentucky, even though I love Tennessee. I think they win the national title. No feeling, Daryl, on this one. Depends if Warren Washington plays, Daryl. Yeah, I guess so, Colby. There's just better spots. I love Scott Cross. You tug at my heartstrings with Scott Cross every time here. You're just killing me. They're playing Texas State. They lost away to Texas State. Texas State just won the game against Old Dominion and Southern Miss, so they're on a bit of a roll. 6 points. It's a lot. I like it. It's a lot. And I guess that's it, guys. Alabama. Yeah, I'll lay the points. Arkansas rivalry, but they need to win. They lost 2 straight games. Guys, that's it. Like I mentioned, please like, subscribe, do all that stuff for the giveaway. Now, after the show is over, we're going to end it right now. Put your national champion in there. We will pick one at random. So many great things going on. I appreciate you. The show is growing. I am only here for you. I didn't sleep last night. We got a large Dunkin'. We're ready to go. Big time here. College basketball hoops in the house. Nothing better. Frank Branks models, our bets, our conference tournament previews. We got the Big East, the ACC, the SEC coming out. Kutri's killing it. Gross killing it. I'm out of time. We'll see you later.